Keizai Shinnenkai. A big round of applause for a new opportunity in a new year. For those of you who haven't been here in the last decade, okay, maybe a few less years, but I've been here for a few years because, well, I've been honored for the invitation. And it's polite to invite me back the next year, and I sort of never say no. So they have to keep inviting me back, and they have to keep taking me unless I say no. My name is Mike Inoue, and I'm the traffic anchor over at NBC Bay Area. That's my daytime job, and so yes, I'm sorry. I know there was a lot of traffic getting here. I am not in charge of Page Mill Road, but maybe the folks at maybe like Williamson, City, Goodman, they're over at the bottom of Page Mill. If they could get out there before their shifts, maybe they could do traffic control, whatever we have. We'll see. But I just reported. I'm just the messenger. Just like I assure you that my meteorologist friend, Carrie Hall, who's over at our station as well, she doesn't make the rain. If she did, she'd make a lot more. And she'd make it fall when no one cared. So they're just reporting it. I'm proud to report once again that we are having a wonderful opportunity to meet some outstanding honorees this year. We have a different program, slightly different layout, and we will be awarding, well, it's going to be a little unconventional. Now, if this is your first year here, you don't know any better, so good. This is how we always do it. And if you were here in previous years, then we'll be prepared for us to rock your world. Kind of. I mean, it's just a little change. It's not a big deal. Now, I want to talk about Keizai Silicon Valley, which we know as Keizai Silicon Valley in its newest form. Now, they've constantly evolved the organization to change with the times. Markets have changed, relationships have changed. Keizai Silicon Valley has also changed to evolve with the relationships and the businesses and the world that is today. And I'm proud to be here every year because, well, I'm a Yonsei. I'm a fourth generation American-born Japanese heritage. And so I am that bridge between over the Pacific, Japan and the US. And I'm proud of both cultures. And I'm very happy that we can continue this relationship between the businesses because, well, we have a lot to learn from each other within the Bay Area alone, with all of our cultures. But getting across the sea with our business partners, we can do that with email, sure. But we know how email sometimes gets misinterpreted. There's a face-to-face relationship that's needed. There's a handshake and there's a smile. These are opportunities to grow relationships that don't exist without that meeting. And that's what Keizai Society provides here today. And that's what Keizai continues to provide. Now, the specific purpose is to provide opportunities for executives and professionals to develop the knowledge and the human networks for successful U.S.-Japan business. Wow, my picture's still up there. You don't have to do that. Also, it's a nice platform for my face. We like that. Now, we're talking about human networks. Right here in this area, we have LinkedIn. We have Facebook. They're all social and business social networks. But that human network is the critical factor, I think, in making and sustaining these valuable relationships that have been over the years and that will continue to grow over the years. So make sure you take the opportunities to meet folks. And as I tell my kids, be nice to everybody, okay? Because you never know. You never know. Now, founded in 1990 in San Francisco, Keizai's audience includes people from the worlds of business, academia, and politics. You're going to hear and see some of these examples here today. The Bay Area has such a variety of cultures and business cultures as well, and they're proud to bring them together. Keizai enables broad yet intimate networking amongst its audience members, in addition to establishing a sense of collegiality, sharing advice, offering inspiration, and expanding the business possibilities. Again, inspiration and possibilities are what exist through relationships like this. And among other benefits, Keizai participants report that they often receive business referrals and ideas on how to expand and enrich their businesses. Those business relationships you can make with the click of a button. But the ideas to expand your business, that comes a lot of times just from the brainstorming that happens when you're, for example, having some California roll and a California Chardonnay. So good stuff in California. Now, I would like to introduce to you today the president for a brief welcome. Her name is Chimi Shioya, and she has been a long-time supporter of both business as well as organizationally here. So please give a warm 2016 Shinnenkai welcome to Keizai Silicon Valley President Chimi Shioya.
Well, thank you so much, Mike, for the wonderful introduction, especially about Keizai Society. I have nothing more to say. Thank you. So, welcome and Happy New Year. 明けましておめでとうございます。I'm Chimi Shoya, Keizai Society President, as well as a board member. And I have been at this for about, I forget, maybe what, 13 years, 19? Do you remember? Yes, Nadine was the president when I became a member and vice president. So it's been a long time. Thank you so much for your support. Because of your support, we can do this each year. This is a really tough program to put together because we are all volunteers, as you know. We have, I call this, my own job is daytime job. Keizai is a nighttime job. And people understand what that means. So, as Mike said, daytime job and nighttime job. Exactly, that's how it is. So, again, welcome to this 26th anniversary Shinnenkai and the reception. And I'm glad you could join us because this is the kickoff event for 2016. Well, this year I'm going to make my remarks very short. One, Mike already mentioned half of what I was planning to say. Two, because you want to have ample time for this wonderful, inspiring story and heartwarming story of Matsui families, Andy and Kathy and Teresa, everyone else. So we want to hear more about it, so we want to give enough time for you. But I just wanted to ask you, I seem to see many new faces. If you are here for the first time, could you raise your hand? Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much. So you pretty much know about the Keizai Society. Again, I want to emphasize this is all volunteer organization, but we are very professional. If we are committed, we do well. So you see this evening how it's run and managed. So please enjoy through the evening, and I would like to further do without due, May, can I introduce you? Okay. I would like to introduce May Kao, Vice President of Operations of Keizai Society, Keizai Silicon Valley, I'm sorry. We changed the name last year. I still cannot get used to it. I'm so sorry. We are now Keizai Silicon Valley. And one more thing. I would like to thank our sponsors as well as the board members. Also, the staff members who put countless hours for running this event as well as the forums that we do throughout the year. So thank you so much, everyone. And here is Meiko. Thank you.
Okay, so Mike talked everything about Keizai for Chimi, and Chimi said everything for me. So probably I don't have much to say, but we're gonna be on speed dial. So one thing we want to thank are can you switch this up? Yeah. Our board and advisory. So we are going to introduce all the board members, and please don't clap until I finish with all of them. So because we're on speed dial, right? So to begin with, we have Dr. Richard Dasher. Could you please stand up, please? Oh, please, yeah. And wait a second. And then we have Mrs. Scott Almond here. And please remain standing up. And then we have Nadine Grant, and she's over there. You can sit, Nadine. It's okay. Yeah. Then we have Mr. Koji Osawa-san. Oh, okay. And then we have Chimi again, and Shoshi Taira-san, which helps us secure this venue. So please remain. So please give a round of applause to our board members. And then we have one advisor, which is Yotam Taku, but he's not here with us today. So next, but definitely we have to applaud our whole volunteer team, because without them, none of this will happen. So could you all stand up, please? Everywhere. So we are not going to name anybody, but so we are all scattered around the room. So thank you. So we are done. So this is really fast, right? So there you go. Oh, okay. So Jimmy wants you to know that there's bios of all our volunteer teams at the back of your program. And the program is designed by Ernie, which I find it very, very stunning. Thank you.
Folks, you may notice that Jimmy and me are trying to keep it brief. That's because we're very excited about the story, as we talked about, and also because, as they said, I cribbed on their notes, so most of what they're saying. We do have the Matsui family here, and it's a multi-generational story, which I think exemplifies the type of thing we're talking about here. We're talking about the bridge from Japan to U.S. and U.S. to Japan. And the first half, Japan to U.S., is brought forth by Andy. And then the U.S. back to Japan is brought up by Kathy. There's a multi-general successory aspect as well because Teresa is here. And that touches upon my background as well with the family business because I started out as a flower grower here. We share some of the same background in the industry with the Matsuis. My grandfather knew Mr. Matsui when he came over and was part of the exchange, which was 1 year. It came to be a little longer. And they've been quite successful here. Matsuis have seen industries change, and they've adapted to those changing conditions and been quite successful at that. Again, we're going to keep touching upon this. We'll get you more into the awards as they're awarded, as well as the interview. We're going to do something called a fireside chat this evening, and I think you're going to enjoy this because you'll really get a chance to get to know them a little bit better and how this all ties together. Now, first, we do need to take care of some business. I'm on the TV, and we have to pay for it with commercials. So here's a little commercial, guys, but you can't fast forward through it, so don't try. All right, first we're going to get our corporate sponsors. They're noted in your programs. Please do look at those programs because there's so much more information about Keizai as well as our honorees this year. First, we're going to talk about our representatives who are putting this on today. Now, we mentioned Taira-san, who, well, through his good graces and his good golfing, was able to secure the Palo Alto club here. But also we have other sponsors without whom we would not be able to have the Keizai Society, Keizai Silicon Valley, however you call it, as well as our Shinnenkai. So thank you very much. First, sure, I'm sorry. I'm used to at home when everybody's telling me to be quiet. So they asked me to talk closer to the microphone. Now, Procopio, that's our gold sponsor. First one up, Procopio, Corey Hargraves, and Savage LLP, a full-service law firm that was established in 1946 and was recognized as one of the largest growing law firms in 2012. We have Miku Mehta, we have Sanai Trotter, and the team with Procopio. You're here tonight. Why don't you go ahead and stand up, give a little wave. Oh, they're way back there. Look at that. Holding up the bar tab. That's what you guys are supporting, the bar tab now? That's good. No, thank you very much. Next up, we have our friends from Sunbridge, gold level sponsor as well. Sunbridge provides venture capital, professional services, and business facilities in Tokyo, Osaka, and Silicon Valley. We have Kawanabe-san and team right here. Where are you folks? There you go, right there. That's a one-man team, so you know. Sunbridge, outstanding, so powerful. Next up, we have the folks from Union Bank. Invest in you. That's a good idea. Union Bank, with almost 150 years of history, offers comprehensive financial solutions to individuals and businesses, and everyone who comes here from Union Bank is always in good humor when I have a little fun with whatever slogan they have. So there you go, investing in you. Let's see who we're investing from. Folks from Union Bank, give a little wave. Oh, they're already fully invested. That's good. They're in a little time deposit. That's nice. We'll see them later when they mature. If they're like me, they will never mature. Next up, gold sponsor, WSGR, Williams & Cini, Goodrich & Rosati, and the premier provider of legal services to technology and growth enterprises worldwide. WSGR is a long-time supporter of Keizai. We have Nobuki Takeuchi with us this evening. Takeuchi-san, where are you? It's okay. Give them a round of applause as well. It's fine. We got their money. They'll leave the lights on for the whole party. That's good. Silver sponsor, we mentioned his name before, but I'll mention his corporation. Tazan International. There we go. All right.
Tazan International's CEO, Mr. Tsuyoshi Taira, is a prominent angel investor and management consultant both in Silicon Valley and in Japan. He's a long-term supporter of Keizai. He also serves as a board member. As I mentioned, he's responsible for securing these facilities, and his wife is a very good golfer. And she invites him along too. Taira-san right here, Tazan International. And Mrs. Taira, you're right there too, please. Right there. Next up, silver level sponsor, Teraoka and Partners. Teraoka and Partners LLP guides and serves its international and domestic clients in every legal aspect of operating their businesses. We have Steve Teraoka, Catherine Gormley, and Yadi Yamamoto with us this evening. I just talked to them. Where are you folks? Oh, you're right over here. Good to see you. Also, Steve, you brought calendars with you guys, right, Catherine? Good. And Steve says they work. And that's always important with a calendar. But you know, every few years they all work, right? And that's good. All right. Next up, we have ZL Tech. Oh, you might not recognize this company because they changed their logo from last year, but we still recognize the names involved. ZL Technology develops enterprise software solutions for information governance and analytics of unstructured big data. If you don't know what that means, you don't need their services. ZL is also one of the long-term supporters of Keizai, not only as a corporate sponsor, but also we do need this service. Chimi Shioya of ZL has served as president and board member of Keizai for many years. You just heard from her. Without her support, we could not do what we're doing today. And you know, her husband's also there, so I think he works for you, right? Yeah. We'll say that because he's not here. It's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll give him a salute. Ken Leong would represent them, but right here, Chimi Shioya is in his stead, and the Vibrant ZL team is with us. Where are you, Vibrant ZL team? You'll be able to feel it when they're around you. Next up, right there, FCOCA, Fukuoka Center for Overseas Commerce in America. Even their acronyms sort of, if you just say it fast, it's like Fukuoka. See? FCOCA is a division of government of Fukuoka, Japan, dedicated to growing business between Fukuoka and North America, and we have their team with us today, so give them a round of applause. Go ahead and wave and stand up if you can. Bronze level sponsor, Ito-En. Yes, you might recognize the names from the Tea's Tea or Oi Ocha, and they are here today. If you want a taste of any of their products, well, they're in the back there. They have been giving out free samples, so make sure you grab some to hydrate before you leave and get hydrated on by some of the light rain we're having. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a big round of applause to Ito-En. Thank you. Next up, bronze level sponsor, JETRO, or the Japan External Trade Organization, is a government-related organization that works to promote mutual trade and investment between Japan and the rest of the world. Originally established in 1958 to promote Japanese exports abroad, JETRO's core focus is the 21st century has shifted toward promoting foreign direct investments into Japan and helping small to medium-sized Japanese firms maximize their global export potential. We have Taisha Chiba and we have Yoshiaki Tojo with us tonight from JETRO. Where are you folks? There you go, there they are. Are you any relation to Jethro Tull? No? That's an old band. You guys are too young for that. All right. Next up, bronze sponsor, NEC Networks and Systems Integration Corporation. That's NEC or NESIC. NEC Networks and Systems Integration Corporation provides consulting, integration, and support solutions. We have Shota Ushihara with us this evening, who is also one of the volunteer members for Keizai. Shota, where are you? He's sick. Oh, they worked him so bad. He's sick. He did this all for you. Next up, NEDO, bronze sponsor. NEDO is Japan's largest public R&D management organization, which promotes research and development of energy, environmental, and industrial technologies. We have Go Takizawa and Aya Iwasuji from NEDO tonight. Go and Aya, are you here? Yeah, right there, thank you. See that one side was Go, and the other side was Aya. Multitasking. Next up is U.S. Asia Venture Partners. That's cool. US Asia. See how it goes together? It's a premier strategic consulting company that helps its clients discover and exploit new opportunities for innovation and market disruption. With a team of renowned domain experts, USA VP partners with clients to plan and execute for business, but with slogans that contain disruption and execution, I would be a little leery. Just make sure you talk to them first before you hire them. USA Ventures, where are you guys? Full confidence in you. Where are you? Right there. I should say, Scott, you have killer instinct for doing what it is. All right, good stuff, Scott. Is that Kenny here too? Oh, there you are, Kenny. Good sound. I just saw you. All right, so those are our sponsors. Please check out in the program as well. And if you have opportunity to consider them amongst the folks that you partner with in the future, do remember that they've helped be a supporter for some of the organizations like Keizai, which you find so valuable. Now, it's our pleasure to move on to these two celebrities. See, aren't these pictures so much nicer than mine? So much better. They had to cut mine closer to cut off some of my chins. Here you see their full faces. Now we have our guests of honor. The Lifetime Achievement Award, Mr. Andy Matsui, and Economic Innovation Award, Ms. Kathy Matsui. Let's give them a quick round of applause before I tell you a little bit about them. This goes way back in my history, and Mr. Andy Matsui, also called Toshikyo Matsui, born into a traditional Japanese farm family. My family is also a farming family, and that's where we crossed paths, at least as far as the family line goes. Now, they had a family farm in Nara Prefecture. So did you grow deer? That's how I remember Nara. They ate the paper that I had, the map. They always ate the map. Now, a young man, he participated in the Ministry of Agriculture training programs that then sent him to California on that very brief exchange, which turned out to be so much more. So much more for his family history, and so much for the history of the industry where my family has its roots, and so much for literally roots in a number of different crops. I think you started with chrysanthemums and roses, and then eventually his program evolved, and when I mentioned your name to my dad, I said, "Dad, do you remember, Andy Matsui?" My dad thought for a second. No, because my dad doesn't remember everything anymore. Sat for a second, and he looked at me, and I will never forget this. He said, "They call him the Orchid King." And it was like an Old West gunslinger. And my dad was remembering from way back when the legend was born. And it was really cool. So just so you know, your name and title are spoken with that reverence in our family. Folks are well aware of that in the industry. Now, I should go back, because in 1969, as you'll read in the program, Mr. Matsui, they were working here, Mr. and Mrs. Matsui were working here, so they earned enough, as is the hope of the American dream, till you can buy a business of your own. So you finally got enough together, and you bought a small plot of land. 50 acres, right? Yeah, I take 50 acres. It's the latest. And began his business, evolved over the years, and now the Matsui Nursery, 2.8 million square feet of greenhouse space is devoted to potted orchid production. That's why he's called the King of Orchid. I think you've gone through different iterations with regards to materials that you use, and I know that you are a big proponent of sustainability and staying local with what you use and what you get. Now, this is a very forward-thinking process if you think about way back when we used to just use things and throw them away. But the Matsui family has been preaching this for quite some time, and they carried it through in the next few levels that we'll talk about. Now, Mr. Matsui has then brought forth the Matsui Foundation, a way to support his local resources. Because a number of folks that work within, a number of people that work within the agriculture industry will tell you that a lot of our workforce is migrant worker. And so they don't have a lot of means, but they are striving for a good life for their kids. And Mr. Matsui knows that. These people work hard for his company. They're good workers, and they just want to get ahead, and they want a better life for their kids. Matsui Foundation is designed to help out the local school kids to move forward and to succeed. And one of their programs, CS in 3, is that right? CS in 3 is a program, and they'll award that to a deserving individual to go through a program in computer sciences in 3 years. So an abbreviated time in school so they can get out there and be productive. And I would believe it would be hopefully to come back, right? And to be a productive part of that community as well. So again, look at that, taking local resources, building them up, farming them, helping them grow, and hoping that they will come and benefit locally as well as go out into the world and do a little more. More sustainability, more of that growth pattern, more of that bridging. Now, Mr. Matsui is here for that Lifetime Achievement Award. I just mentioned a little bit about what he's done and what he does. But he also, with Mrs. Matsui, mostly Mrs. Matsui, raised 4 children, their own garden. And amongst those children, they have Teresa, who is his successor in the business and is successfully carrying on the tradition. And I'll tell you, that was too hard of a business for me to take over for my dad and my grandpa. So I'm out. Teresa's still in. We're also looking at another facet, though, of his offspring. Kathy's here, and she's the one who gets the Economic Innovation Award. Ms. Kathy Matsui here is a vice chair of Goldman Sachs Japan, co-head of macro research in Asia, and chief Japan equity strategist. She serves as a member of the Asia Pacific Management Committee, and Kathy joined Goldman Sachs in 1994 and was named managing director in 1998 and partner in 2000. Now, I've seen your TED Talk, or TEDx Talk, I should, because there's branding thing, right? TEDx Talk in Tokyo, where you spoke in English. I don't want people to think I understand Japanese that well. You spoke in English about a thing, well, you've heard of what Mr. Ides from Sony came over and talked about Abenomics. Well, first of all, you've worked with Prime Minister Abe, is that correct? And in roundabout ways. And also, you talked at the TEDx Tokyo about womenomics. Women being the prime root there. And it talks about how we need to empower women in the workforce of all countries, but how Japan specifically can take great benefit of half of their population. That M curve that you showed, and you got to see the talk if you want to know what I'm talking about, was fascinating because it showed how a specific country was losing a powerhouse workforce for its GDP at a critical time, and how one, granted, cultural change would result in a huge change in the entire country, undoubtedly cascading around. Now, Kathy has done so many more things than that. She's talking about the economy of countries, but she's also trying to help those get a leg up. Mr. Matsui helps with his foundations, and Kathy's helping out with, she's on the board for the Asian University of Women. And you can get a brochure on that over at the table. Brandon was over there, but now these folks are over by the second mirror over there. And there are books, and we'll talk about those more, but there's also information on the Asian University for Women, where it's in India, right? Bangladesh, and I'm sorry, not the same. Bangladesh, and it's helping, well, again, an area where we hear that women aren't getting a chance to move forward in the business world, and you're helping them harness, I think, an unleashed power there as well. But I think that the mentality that she has there transcends just that one culture, and it goes across the globe. I have a daughter. She loves fashion and coloring. She's 7. She also loves all of the STEM technologies. And I want to encourage both sides because I don't want her to think that she has to pick one or the other. And through efforts like that, that you're paying it forward as well, helping that next generation come up. So you're passing that skill on to your others. And again, that's the bridge back from the US back to Japan, is where Kathy brings that full circle. So this family embodies so many of the values that we have from Keizai, Silicon Valley. I think that's just a brief window into why they're being honored today. And we're going to learn a little bit more with this town hall. So right now, let's get your official award, take some pictures, and then we'll hear from you folks. First, I'd like to ask Chimi to come up and do the award, and then folks, we're going to hear more about this dynamic duo from an outstanding family. And we're going to hear more this evening. First of all, big round again for Chimi Shioi.
So Andy, could I have your honor to be with me next to me, please? Andy, we are presenting to you Lifetime Achievement Award, Andy Matsui, in recognition of achieving success by taking the best of both worlds, Japan and the US. January 2016, Keizai Shinnenkai. Congratulations. Could I have Kathy here on the stage?